Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Revive Mississippi. I'm your host, DeKeither Stamps. We're about to go live on 90.1 FM. We appreciate all of our viewers for tuning in every week for the last 8 years. And all our first time viewers, go ahead and hit the like button. Our return viewers, hit the heart button, and post where you're viewing from. And then go ahead and share the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show about the Piney School. So we're going to go live in just a second. Good evening, everyone in our radio audience. We appreciate everyone for continuing to tune in with us every week here at WMPR 90.1. We want to first, as we begin every show, we always remember those people who are going through bereavement. Bereavement is a very trying time during this day and age, and even hospitalization and sickness because of our situation we're in with COVID-19 and the virus and things like that. We can't help people like we normally do. So let's just make sure that you be a friend during others' time of need so that you can have a friend when it's your time of need. Because one thing I know, it will be your time soon. All of us have a time that's designed for us to go through the trials and ups and downs of life. And I just want to make sure that I ask you to be a friend, because everybody knows that your time will be here one day where you are going to have to, need a shoulder to lean on. So we just ask that you be a friend so that when your time comes, you can have a friend in place. And also, we want to say thank you to our sponsors. Our sponsors for today's show are Mr. Micheal Jordan at Micheal Jordan Transportation Service. He's a wonderful young man who always trying to help the community, always trying to do things in our community to help us move forward, help us to just have a better experience of life. And if you're looking for quality transportation services, you can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for quality transportation services at affordable prices and with a business that gives back to the community, that has a community focus. He's right there from Georgetown, right in the heart of Jackson. And so if you're looking for employment also, he's always hiring good people, looking for good people. So you can also go to www.mjstransportation1.com for those transportation needs as well. For those employment needs as well. Go through the process that's online there, and you can learn how to, move in transportation. Transportation is a big industry. There's a lot you can get involved in. This is a great first step. So you're looking for mature adults who have a desire to have a profession. It's not an Uber driver here. This is a professional drivers that want to provide quality services to people. So again, you can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for those transportation and employment needs. Also, the National Wildlife Federation continues to support the radio station here, and we appreciate that partnership. And if you want to partner with WMPR and help maintain our institutions, you can always reach out to me, or you can come down to the station, because we're going to talk about a little deeper in today's show about the value of institutions. And sometimes we take institutions for granted until you don't have the institution anymore. All right. A lot of times we take stuff for granted. We take for granted that we have a WMPR and a Jackson Advocate and a Mississippi Link and all these other things that we just take for granted. And then when they're gone, we say, hold on, I wish I would have, I should have, and all those kinds of things. So be proactive and take a look at supporting our institutions in our community, because that's how you revive Mississippi, by breathing life and support into the institutions that sustain our community and has built it for a long time. And today's spotlight is going to be on the Piney School. I'm going to try to get this thing working here. Y'all pray for me. I'm gonna get this video going so we can show the Piney Woods School. 1 second here. Make sure I got it going on here. Y'all, this technology I'm not the best technology person. So, maybe y'all want to donate some of that young people help y'all got. Some of y'all got some good young folks out there that know this a whole lot better than me. Here we go. And we're going to get this thing going on here.
The Piney Woods School is an extraordinary place because its founder was an extraordinary man. Lawrence Jones was the only African American to graduate from the University of Iowa in 1908. After graduation, Jones set out on a mission.
He wanted to start a school for disenfranchised and uneducated African Americans. And somehow, once he had gotten upon the train to come here, he wound up in the Piney Woods area of Mississippi, and he settled on this spot.
In 1909, this spot was literally only piney woods, with an old log cabin and a clear spring. One day, while Jones sat under a cedar tree, a boy came out of the woods and picked up one of Jones's books.
The boy had the book upside down, so he realized that he did not know how to read.
The next day, the boy came back with 2 friends, so they could learn to read. Word spread, and soon more people started showing up. Jones then convinced the only African-American landowner around to give him that cabin and 40 acres to build his school. A white lumber mill owner donated the material, and the whole community pitched in to help the man, now known as the Little Professor.
Some of us came with a sack of sweet potatoes, some with a couple of geese, some of us empty-handed, but the Little Professor gave book learning free to all.
Jones never turned away a student, and through the years, the students helped build the school.
We built that school with our own hand, and that is why we love every board and every brick put into it.
Jones's wife, Grace, taught music at the school. Her Cotton Blossom singers toured the country, raising just enough money to keep it going. Then, in 1954,
this is your life.
The school got a boost in the most unexpected way.
You, Dr. Lawrence C. Jones, known as the Little Professor of Piney Woods, Mississippi, this is your life.
One after another, the people who supported Dr. Jones appeared. And then his true legacy, his students, men and women, came to say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, for giving me a good start.
And then the plea that helped Piney Woods survive.
Are there 1 million of you in our vast television audience tonight who will put a dollar bill in an envelope right now and mail it to Dr. Jones, Piney Woods, Mississippi?
$1,017,000 came in sacks of mail. Dr. Jones now knew the school would continue beyond his lifetime. He and his wife are buried near the original log cabin where some of the first classes were held.
This holds a lot of history, and DC wanted to take it, but it would take a lot of history away from the school. So we preserved it.
It's preserved for students of the 21st century, children who now come from all over the world to get an education in the Piney Woods of Mississippi.
Once you get here, you get to know everybody else, and it's just like family.
My roommate that graduated last year, she often talks to me and tells me Piney Woods made a difference.
Nearly all the graduates of Piney Woods do go on to college, making a difference in the world, one student at a time. From the Piney Woods School in Rankin County, I'm Ken South for Southbound.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a quick overview of the Piney Woods School. And today we have Mr. Yusuf Fitzgerald. He's the athletic director. Bring your radio down.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can
I can hear you.
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. So you're the athletic director of the Piney Woods School. I can hear you. Maybe if you drive, pull on over. Be safe out there now. But Mr. Fitzgerald comes from a family, and his mother, Miss Alita Fitzgerald, is a good friend of ours. their whole family has participated in the Piney Woods experience, and they've been pillars in our community. And we asked Mr. Fitzgerald to chime in today to kind of give us a little bit of his experience and his family's experience of the Piney Woods School. And go ahead and pull over, Mr. Fitzgerald. We want you driving and on the thing now. Go and pull on over. All right. Can you hear me? He must be in a little bad
I think
spot.
I'm getting a bad signal. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, yeah. Move on to a good spot. So, but Mr. Fitzgerald has been an athletic director for some time. He came over from another wonderful institution at Hines Community College at the Utica campus. He was the coach there for some time, and now he's at the Piney Woods School as the athletic director. And I wanted to make sure that Mr. Fitzgerald, why don't you try to give us a call at 601-948-5950. 601-948-5950. How about try that, okay? Can you hear me?
948-5950, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 948-5950.
Yep. We try to get him on the phone here. He's having some difficulties trying to get a wire signal. But let's see here. We catch him here. Hello, caller.
Yes, this is Coach Fitzgerald.
Hey, Coach Fitzgerald, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell us a little bit about your experience at the Piney Woods School. Well, a little bit first about you, and then we'll talk about your experience there.
All right, cool. Well, of course, I think most people know I've been at the Hines Community College as the head coach for the last 4 years. I've been coaching basketball now for over 17 years, which surprises some folks because I guess they don't know I'm that old. But went to Piney Woods as a 7th grader. My mom and dad, we moved from Atlanta to Mississippi due to some issues in the house that my mom was trying to get us in a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said before, my family, my mom, my uncles, my aunt, my sisters, we all went to Piney Woods at one time or another. And most of us graduated from Piney Woods. I say most of some transferred and went to other schools, Jacksonville school system. But I was sent there for structure and discipline when I was younger. Of course, at that age, 11, 12 years old, you get into stuff, especially at Jackson. There was a lot to get into, just like it is now they even have more to get into now these days. And so my mom wanted me to get some structure and some discipline, and that's what it did. Going in there as a 12-year-old, it was a shock because I just didn't know the fundamental things of taking care of yourself and being independent. I was always relying on my mother and my father. And going to Piney Woods, it gave me a sense of self, and it allowed me to become who I am, and be more of myself instead of what somebody was telling me to be. And I was able to find myself in a situation where, at the end of the day, I can become who I wanted to become on my own merit and my own experiences. And it was a great experience. I always valued the hard work model that we have with our work program with all of our students. I was blessed to work on the farm to learn a lot about agriculture and the money that it can make, the revenue streams that it can provide your family and generational wealth. I also worked with the carpenters, the electricians, the plumbers, the landscapers. So it gave me a sense of entrepreneurship and business, which is what we preach at Piney Woods for all of our students to be more than what society allows you to be sometimes. And they put us in pigeonholes, and we're not able to become and thrive who we want to be as students and young men and women. And so my experience at Piney Woods, which I stayed there till my 12th grade, graduated National Honor Society. They worked with me tremendously with academics first and foremost. Like you said earlier, 98% of our kids go on to college on scholarship. That 2% that goes to the military every year in all of our graduating classes. We have a rich history. School's been open for 130 years. Never closed, never lost accreditation, and we're sitting right down the highway, 15 to 20 minutes from Jackson. Just depends on where you're coming from. Our doors are open like it was when I came here, and leaving Piney Woods, I went to Tougaloo College, graduated from Tougaloo, and I did some private business stuff, and then working for my uncle's son, Mr. Garrett, Socrates Garrett, and then also, I had to find what I wanted to do with the degrees I had. I got my psychology degree from Tougaloo. and I decided to get into coaching, which was my first passion of sports. And it's led me all over the world. I've been to Chicago and coached NBA players, I've trained NBA guys, All-American, guys that have gone to Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO, and then also worked at IMG Academy, which is a private, boarding school in Bradenton, Florida, which is tremendous as a sports school. And I got to Bradenton and realized that I had this thing back at home that was valuable than what IMG was offering to our students, because we offer the work program. We have a farm on our campus that's 250 acres of an instructional farm that the students are participating in every day. We have horses, we have some cows, we have heifers, we have some honeybees. The kids are in agribusiness and agriculture as a class. So we have a solar farm on campus, and we got 350 solar panels that were donated to Tesla. We have a lot of things going on that students can be very beneficial for them, as it was for me and my family. And the biggest thing for me, people always ask me, Representative Stansel, why did I leave college to come back to these ranks? And it was more because in college it was great. I was successful and blessed in the situations I was put in. But I was doing a lot of work, but I was only touching a few students, 18 to 20 kids. I wanted to make a larger impact. And that was the reason why Dr. Crosby and I went to school here. He asked me to come back, and it was a no-brainer for me. So I came back, and I'm the athletic director here now. But it's larger than that for me. I want to be able to help as many kids as I can, escape the pitfalls of your inner cities that we all run with that age. And I tell people all the time, it's way easier for me to be at Piney Woods because it allows that safe haven for a student to really thrive and not have to deal with the extra pitfalls that may hinder us from being successful in our communities. So tremendous place, man. I mean, we're literally right down the highway, and we're a school for the people. Most of the students go here are on some type of scholarship, and that's all about students. So at the end of the day, we're here, and we've been here for over 112 years, 110 years. We're literally for the people. I think sometimes, like you said, we forget about our institutions because it's kind of that, new world, new things pop up, and it's a culture that, on to the next. But we've been here, like I said, never closed, been here waiting on more students to come. And we would love to open our doors for more. We've closed that application process for the first semester, and we're already into that second semester of allowing folks to apply, and we're looking at every application because we want to get some kids in here.
So, and I appreciate that personal testimony. Piney Woods has a mantra of the head, the heart, and the hands. Could you talk a little bit about that philosophy that's been instilled in Piney Woods for over 100 years, of the head, the heart, and the hands?
Well, for me, and I can talk from personal experience from working here, for my full time working here and going, the head piece is more of the, being able to think freely and problem solve in a way of, your thought processes with the real world. And that's what the academic piece is set up for. It's not just your typical academics where it's just the book and that's what we're going off of. We apply all of the real world scenarios in our academics, and it increases that knowledge base for what you need for going into the world to deal with multiple fractions and multiple arenas, to where you can go into any room and be able to have some knowledge base of what you're talking about and what you're doing, and that's what you choose to do. The heart is just the love of the school, the love of the kids, the love of the student, the love of the community, the love of the world. A lot of your Piney Woods graduates, you'll find out, are some of your more heartwarming people in the world, because we all come from different backgrounds and different circumstances. So you learn to appreciate, other people and where they come from and their circumstances that may be different from yours. And then you're able to love each person the same as God has told us to do. And with the hands, man, it's just the work part of it. Like, we believe in hard work because that's where you're going to be successful, regardless of what you want to do, regardless of where you want to be. If you put your mind to it and you put your feet and your hands to it, mean, you can accomplish any goal that you set out to do. And that's where that hands piece comes from. So that whole mantra of the head, heart, and the hands is a holistic approach of building the character, building the compassion, and building the hard work citizens and parents and fathers and mothers that come out of Piney Woods that have been successful over these years.
You know, I'm a firm believer that our society today is not producing the caliber and quality of people that we've produced in the past. Would you say that's true?
I agree. I totally agree.
And institutions like Piney Woods your issues are. Piney Woods is not for, you know, some people think that it's Piney Woods has children of doctors and lawyers.
Yes.
And the whole range of children. Piney Woods is not a place that you send children who just act up. Piney Woods has a high caliber of folks there and across the full spectrum of our society.
Agree. And that was the whole staple of, you know, the stigma that we had when we're in the school for bad kids. Because a lot of times, parents back in the day would, oh, you acting up, I'm going to send you to Piney Woods. And, you know, of course, that's cool because we accept those students as well. Because, of course, we want to give them an opportunity to, you know, come out of some of the, you know, mistakes and pitfalls that they may have been presented. It's also, like you said, we've had Representative Thompson's daughter's been there. Our president right now, Dr. Will Crosley, was the Democratic National Committee's lawyer. He worked under Obama and also on the Supreme Court. And he came from, you know, a situation in Chicago that wasn't ideal for growth for children on the south side of Chicago. And so it's not just for students who have behavioral issues, it's also for students who want to lock and focus and have a higher academic structure going into college. Because we're a college preparatory school, we do here mimics the actual college feel. You stay in the dorms on campus. You eat in our cafeteria. You go home on the weekend. But throughout the week, you're here with us and you're learning and you're, you know, participating in our athletics and the whole nine of what a regular high school is. But you add that boarding component and the educational component, and it's a different level. Like when I went to college, I was prepared. I was overly prepared for class because most of the stuff that they showed for Tulu I already seen at Piney was 2 times over. So especially with us adding our postgraduate program now, which is basically your 13th year of high school, that opens us up to give students even more opportunity to experience a college preparatory world before they hit that college lane. A lot of times, you know, the kids, students now, they're going to your junior colleges and different things, and we want to offer the same opportunity for high school students, junior high students, but we go from 8th grade to 12th grade now, and then we have post-grad. We want to give those students and young men and women the opportunity to learn in an environment like we have, and it's a blessing to still be able to have this place alive because it gives us opportunities to instead produce, you know, productive citizens and students and athletes throughout the world is going to make impact in different arenas and more than just, you know, sport or more than just the regular academia piece.
You know, you said a lot. Speak to the range of places that students come from to go to Piney Woods School.
All over the world. Ethiopia, we got kids from Belgium on the way, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Mississippi, Atlanta, Florida, Anna, Chicago, you name it, Alaska, you name it, California. We've had students, Louisiana. We have students from all over the world and all over the country here at Piney Woods. When I was in school, I went to school with, you know, multiple international students, which we are also, you know, still in operation now with Ethiopian students. And like I said, we got some Dutch kids coming. And then the Virgin Islands. And it was such a melting pot that you learn so many cultures and then you build so many relationships that are invaluable when you're talking about getting older, because now I'm able to, if I go in any state, Representative Sampson, I can pick up the phone and call an alum, and I don't have to pay for a hotel room. I can pick up in any state. If I wanted to move tomorrow, and Lord don't move me yet because I love where I am, but if I needed to pick up and move tomorrow, I mean, honestly, I can go anywhere in the country and maybe even the world and pick up a job, just from the relationships that I've built and so many successful people that have come off the yard, that it becomes like a large family. We've been talking, each day about our alumni base, and literally, I mean, we're over thousands and thousands and thousands of alumni from across the world. So it's been tremendous, and it's such an experience that I always recommend, students to get that experience before they go off to college, because again, it's all about networking when you get out in this work field, and no other better network to have than somebody in every state or across the seas that you can call and go visit, go see. And then just for the experience for, some of our students have never even experienced any international students or international different pieces. And it just gives them that culture piece that, they've been experienced with the school with us.
One of the biggest things that our children can get is exposure, being exposed to different things. And, the reason I was excited when you called me today, and I said, let's clear the schedule and actually talk about this on the show today, because so many times right here in Mississippi, you have people who lose hope, but there are institutions of hope right around the corner. We're talking 15 minutes from Jackson. You have an institution that children can go to and become better children and productive adults in a small environment, and you have scholarship opportunities. So talk a little bit about, folks always ask, well, how much does it cost and all that. Talk about the costs and the opportunity for scholarships at the Piney Wood School.
Okay, so our tuition is set, but every student, receives a scholarship of some sort to attend Piney Woods. Now, those scholarships are first come, first serve, and they run out. But they're there. And for us, we try not to turn away any students at all. So it goes off of you get your application, and then we try to use past financial information to determine how much of a scholarship we put out there. But truthfully, it's always been a model, Representative Stamps, that we try not to turn any kid away, because regardless.
Hold on for a second, bro. Hold on for a second. So you mean to tell me that you try not to turn anybody away in your institution?
That's the truth.
So you got young folks who are out here who are, no matter where you are listening from, and let's say you are a high achieving young person who may need to be in a better environment, and then you may be an underachieving young person who needs a better environment. You got an opportunity to go somewhere to an institution of higher learning at the 8th grade where they try not to turn you away. Is that true?
Yeah, that is the absolute truth. When my mom, and you know my mom well, when we came from Atlanta, of course, it was 4 of us. So you imagine trying to send 4 kids to a boarding school that can run your bill up. They didn't turn us away from what we couldn't afford. Because of it's a place that's needed for this space for students to be able to become what they want to, regardless of what socioeconomic background they come from. We don't look at any student any differently because of where they're from. We look at you for where we're trying to take you. Now, it's important to know where you come from in order to get you where you were trying to go. But at the same time, we do not turn you away because of your background and your history of where you're coming from, because everybody deserves a chance. That's our motto. Is like we want you here because everybody deserves a chance, and we work with every student once they get in here. We know it's going to be some challenges, and there's going to be some head bumping, and there's going to be some clashes that might not align immediately offset, but we work with every student to try to get them there. So it's a place, and I'm one that can testify, and there's a lot of people listening that know me personally, that knows where I've come from to where I am, and I'm a true testimony from, behavioral challenges at home and at Piney Woods when I first got there, to graduating National Honor Society, taking the ACT one time, and my mom was really deep with me because I took it once and I made it 21, and I actually slept through most of it, to be honest with you. I didn't have to finish it if I didn't want to, because I knew what the answers were, but they had prepared me so well. So it's a place that prepares you for everything that you're going to see in the world. Dorm life, residential life, you're going to deal with that in college. In your military, you'll end up dealing with it. Your academic pieces, they go over everything possible that you will ever see after you leave Piney Woods. So when you meet a problem, more than likely all you need is a refresher, and you can figure that problem, especially problem-solving situations. And just the success of a history of all our students. I mean, again, I'm not one representative. You're not going to catch me tooting my horn, but I mean, you're talking about a young man that came from some rough times that I ended up being coach of the year and ultra successful in my endeavors in college basketball and high school and prep school basketball world, where I've been able to influence tons of kids since I've been in Piney Woods. Even now, I still get the emails and the messages of, hey man, you looked out for me when we were at Piney Woods. I'll never forget it. Okay? Big brother, little brother, all that stuff still goes on. So it's just the experience and the opportunity that we have here for our young people should be taken advantage of by everybody across the world. I mean, grandparents that have the grandkids that, hey, we need to put them somewhere right now where we get some help. No, we're here. Parents that have to work all day and they got to work 2-3 jobs, just to survive, and kids that are at home alone and they're fending for themselves, we're here. Parents who have a little issue with, the child might be getting influenced by others that we don't need, we're here. And like you said, we have students who don't need anything but a space to be focused and raise the bar from the higher learning they're already achieving, just getting some focus and a place to where they can just stay locked in and don't have to worry about all your outside interferences. I mean, we're here for all of those students, including the ones who may be behaviorally challenged like I was and a lot of my friends. We're here. And that's what I wanted. I'm so happy you invited me on, because I think a lot of times when you're not, an institution of, going anywhere, a lot of times people just get kind of comfortable with, oh yeah, they're down there, but we want to do something different. Or some people just, the new generation, they haven't thought about it. Some parents still think, oh, that's a school for bad kids, and that's not the truth. And that's why I'm glad you brought me on, because that myth needs to be, dead, because that's not what we are. We're a higher education institution that we believe in, the model of the great citizen in the world. So
let me ask you this: what's your current capacity? Like, how many students do y'all have the capacity to educate at the Piney Woods School?
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
My next question is going to be, what's your enrollment? I'm trying to give a version of how many students can y'all, have fully staffed, and then basically paint a picture of what the availability of more enrollment is. What's that ratio between how many students can you hold and work with, and then how many do you have on campus?
When we were full go, and that was some years ago, we were a 2A school, almost 3A, so we were about 350 to almost 400 kids when I was in school.
Okay.
Pandemic, coming out of pandemic now, opening back up, we still were a little limited this year, because we just didn't want to, with the pandemic still going on, we didn't want to just fully open back up right now, because of, pandemic and different things we were unsure about. And so we tend to not count how many students we have on campus by how many students come across campus. So we're touching about over 100 kids every year. Between our summer enrichment camps we have, those 2 weeks, I'm gonna throw this number to you now. Don't hold me to this one, but last summer, our summer enrichment camp for 2 weeks was $250, and we should have been full. And we had a great time, and the kids enjoyed it. And we'll have summer enrichment camp again. We had about 100+ students in those capacities. And then enrollment this year, we're almost to 100 now. So we're right there getting back to where we want to be. But of course, like you said, we want to increase that enrollment even more because we have the space to bring in more kids. So, we can take, we got enrollment open right now for January for our second semester. So we're looking to add as many as we can, and many as want to be here. We would love to take them all in.
So roughly, I'm just putting a light pencil to it. You can increase by 200 more students.
Yes.
Easy.
That's what we want to do.
All right. Easy.
Easy.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an institution that's 15 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. Everybody knows what 90.1 is, right here in the heart of West Jackson. It's 15 minutes away, and they have available space for 200 more students. And the students, everybody who applies early, could possibly get a scholarship. And for the price that folks out here buying a Lexus for, you could send your child to get a quality education. And then you probably won't have to pay for college because they're going to be a high-performing child. Would that be an accurate assessment?
That is absolutely correct.
So if you forego a Lexus while your child is in high school, BMW, Escalade, them things are $1,100 a month. So if you forego that and get you a Camry for, $400 a month, you can spend $200 or $300 a month, and your child can have a foundation of excellence that's not in the situation you in. I'm painting an analogy kind of picture, but am I off the mark here?
You're not off the mark at all, and those numbers vary from house to house, but you are spot on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we posted the website pineywoods.org. All the information is there. You go on the website. For those folks who watching on the screen, I'm gonna put this website up on the screen here because I have a hard time explaining stuff to folks sometimes. Sometimes folks, they take what I say a little different. You go right to the website. You say apply now, sign up. You can click on it, and you can start the process of applying to the Piney Woods School. It has the.
I'll do you better, Representative Stamps. I'll do you one better. If you can share my email.
Okay.
I don't mind it, because one thing about my mission and what I think God has sent me to do is to influence and impress on as many children that I can get my hands on to build a better citizen or more productive citizen, a better version of themselves. I'm willing to pass my email out to the public because I work off my email and I work off my phone. I'm not going to put my phone number out here at all because that would be tragic. But my email is open and I respond to my emails. They can email me directly for more information. They can email me directly.
I just posted it there. Your email address is, hold on one second here. I'm going to get it up here. Your name is Mr. Yusuf Fitzgerald. And the email address is yfitzgerald@pineywoods.org. yfitzgerald@pineywoods.org. For those of y'all who listen on in radio land, go to my Facebook page, go to Revive Mississippi's Facebook page. It's posted there on the screen. The website is there for y'all to look at as well. Go to pineywoods.org. And I don't have to say much more than that. Sometimes folks act like people are not smart enough to figure out what they want to. If you want your child to have a brighter future, if you want your child to be in a better situation, this is an option. I'm not telling folks to do it or participate in it, but I believe my job as a leader in this community is not to allow for any available option to pass by without being an echo chamber, because we can talk all day about our problems. But we made a commitment here 8 years ago when we started this radio show that every week we're going to talk about solutions. We're going to talk about work. you know, and some folks out there, you know, do a whole lot of different things. But I pray that we've been known for actually putting in the work and working to make this place a better place around here. And that's been what we focused on here at Revive Mississippi, is to put solutions out there. And this is a viable solution that many need to consider. I'm going to even post the phone number to the office. I got it right here. It's 601-845-2214. Let me put it on the screen here so folks who are watching online can pull that up.
And I'll even say, Representative Stamps, for those who are looking to find somewhere for their children to be, we are that place.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are looking to donate, to influence, or donate to assist, or donate to, you know, put in time for this place to continue to grow and to continue to stay open, we also have, you know, open donor time. I mean, you can donate money here at any time. They can contact me the same way. I'll put you in touch with our development and even sometimes our president, to where, you know, we are open for anybody that wants to sponsor a child, sponsor us as a school. We're a private institution down Highway 49 that you know, it's a very valuable place. And of course, you know, with valuable places, with us giving these scholarships to our students, of course, we need help with being able to perform those duties every year. And I would love to get as many people behind it that we can, businesses, private folks. I mean, whatever we can do to continue the legacy of Dr. Lawrence C. Jones would be tremendous. Any help helps. If you saw that video, you heard the video, they were able to reach 1 million people back in 1950-something.
Mm-hmm.
To where 1 million folks sent $1. And we both know $1 million back in 1950 was well over $10 to $20 million now.
That's right.
So imagine what we can do in these days and times, and especially with the way the world is turning and the way the world is shifting, we could be influential on creating a space that all of us can be proud of and be behind.
Mm-hmm. And that's the goal, is to look at see, individuals can help a little bit, but institutions like WMPR, media outlets, and Piney Woods, it's gonna be the institutions that undergird our progress in moving our community forward. And so that's why, you know, we're gonna continue to highlight institutions that are accessible, that are affordable, that are quality, and that can solve problems in our community. And I can think of no bigger problem than 8th graders through 12th graders going in the wrong direction. Again, people talk about all kinds of stuff. They talk about trash and potholes and all this kind of stuff. 8th graders to 12th graders going in the wrong direction is one of our biggest problems. And here we are with an institution that can service 200 more. By January, you can be enrolled and sitting in a school in a safe environment that's quality, that's clean, that is, you know, new modern technology. I mean, they've partnered with Tesla, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you don't get any more modern new age technology than partnering with Tesla to put solar panels and talk about you know, solar and all that that comes with that partnership. You don't get more new age than that. I don't know of how many other institutions that have a partnership with Tesla for high school children. And so that speaks volumes to an underutilized asset that's in our backyard that can save 8th graders through your first year of college. Make sure I'm saying this right. So y'all have programs from 8th grade to freshman in college, right?
Basically, and we call it the postgraduate gap year program. So 13th year of high school, you know, freshman in college, the same thing, because they'll be taking some college classes with us.
Okay. So that range of young people can get exposed to old school and new school. Because one thing I know, old school work.
Mm-hmm.
Old school work. All right. They can get exposed to old school learning, farming, and all that. I grew up on a farm. I could not, I wouldn't trade my growing up for anything in the world because we learned to work hard. And when I left and went to the Marine Corps, and they said, this is what we got to do. You mean to tell me I just got to get up and make my bed and be on time and this is easy. But old school was hard, but it provided a foundation for me, for my father, grandparents. It works, ladies and gentlemen. I know we try all this new age stuff. Let's get an app for this. Let's get an app for that. Log on here, log on there, do that. Old school works, and you have a old school institution with new age technology that can marry the old school and the new age 15 minutes away, and they got room to expand by January of 200 more students. There ain't no reason why y'all shouldn't be calling this number 601-845-2214. That's 601-845-2214. It's after hours now, but leave a message. I'm sure they got a voicemail over there. Give them a call, or you can email Mr. Fitzgerald, who's the athletic director, at yfitzgerald@pineywoods.org to answer your questions and help usher you into this process for these young people. So we're going to allow you to some closing remarks, Mr. Fitzgerald, before we give some announcements and get ready to sign off.
Well, I want to say thank you to WMPR and Representative Stamps for having me on. I really appreciate the platform because as much as, I can do for all the efforts that I have, we need the public, we need the community, we need people to back us, we need people to share our story. And I just thank you for this platform. And for all those out there that have any questions or wondering about what to do and how to do, you can reach out to us. Our hours from 8 to 5. You can call that 845-2214 number. My email works at all times. I'm up normally working all night. My wife she's listening now. I know I'm gonna hear something about it. But I'm here to service the children. Basketball and sports are great, but it's bigger than that because we have a responsibility to leave this place better than I found it. And that's what my grandfather, W. Garrett, grandmother Zenobia Garrett, and my mom, Olita Garrett Fitzgerald, has instilled in me to help the community. And that's what I'm about. That's what we are about at Piney Woods. There's no better place than to send your students, your children, your grandchildren, your nephews and nieces to a place that they'll be secure, they'll be looked after, they'll be groomed the right way with great people. We have, so many great leaders on campus now. We have people that were there when I was there, and they are still great people that really care for our children. And that's what we need more in this society, more than anything. And I would love to be able to have thousands of kids coming off this land. So as much as we can, if we have to create a waiting list and build another dome, that's what we would desire to do, to service as many kids as we can from all the communities all over the world. And that would be my closing remarks. And I hope and pray that you guys will take advantage of what we have to offer, because we'll be here.
So thanks a lot, Mr. Fitzgerald. This won't be the last time that you're on. We're also going to open up a space for your leadership. I know you may not have gotten this approved through the leadership, but I'm sure they don't have a problem with it. And we're going to follow the appropriate protocol next time and get the leadership at the Piney Woods School engaged in what we're doing and trying to promote the institution. We're going to arrange for some tours so people can visually see what's happening at Piney Woods and get some of our community engaged and just to come have a tour. Because one thing I believe that most of our leadership don't know the assets that they have in the community. And if the leadership is not informed of the assets in the community, how will the people be informed? So y'all have the number there is 601-845-2214. We appreciate you, Mr. Fitzgerald. We're gonna have a few announcements, and I'll give you a call after the show. Thanks a lot, sir.
All right, thank you. Y'all be blessed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Piney Wood School. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we also, today, we always open up a little space for folks who are running for office. And today we have Mr. Larry Big White, who swung by the studio today. Hello, Mr. White. How you doing?
Thank you, Representative. I want to call you councilman, but that's your past. You're the present and the future now.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Representative.
Okay. So, you know, stranger to the show, you've been here for years, always talking about voting, always talking about keeping people engaged in the political process. So now you're a candidate. So tell the people a little bit about yourself who may not know and what you want to do.
Thank you again, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me. But before we go any further, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention the fact, since we're on this subject about youth empowerment. Recently, however, Representative, this past weekend, I was invited to a banquet of the 100 Black Men. Man, I was so amazed. I have attended them in the past, but this one was real special to me because I was very amazed at some of the participants. The entire banquet was done by the participants in their program, which I attended it before, but these kids was just amazing. They were just amazing and a lot similar to what goes on, I'm sure, at Pineywood. So I just want to tell Mr. Leroy Walker and the rest of the 100 Black Men commend them on what a great job they're doing, and I hope they'll continue. And I want to invite everyone to get involved with the 100 Black Men mentoring program that is available for kids here in Jackson Public School System. We need to take advantage of those opportunities. But yes, Representative, I'm here today to talk about my campaign for Constable District 5, Larry Big White, the one for the job. I'm experienced, professional, and committed to serving. We want people to get out on Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021, and vote Larry Big White, Constable District 5. Again, I stated I'm experienced. I have the experience. I've been involved with Justice Court for over 33 years. I understand the process. I represented plaintiffs throughout Justice Court system, all the way from the beginning of filing to the end once the judgment is entered as well. Professional, meaning that I'm professional in doing that job to the fullest and the best of my ability. Also committed to serving. I'm committed to serving representatives simply because that's part of my life. I've been serving people most of my life, and I'm going to continue to serve the community as I've always done. So on Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, we want people to get out and vote Larry Big White for Constable District 5, the one for the job. Of course, also, I would like to mention that I've been around Justice Court for over 33 years. And of course, in that process, the judge that I would be assigned to would be Judge Pearlie Owens. Her husband was a personal friend of mine, and he had told me some time ago before his death and passing, I needed to run, but I told him, no, Levon, I'm not going to run. But I know he's in heaven now looking down. See, look at White. He's doing what I told him to do years ago. So I do understand and I do expect to serve her and well as the general public. Also, I want to mention the resignment of Constable Benny Buckner. Constable Buckner is my friend. I've been knowing him for some time, and he resigned, and that's how the position came available for all of the persons that has entered this race. Of course, representing, I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for the position of Constable District 5.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the show, and we appreciate you always being a friend.
Right, and I'm always, and you always tell me you're welcome to come back, and I'm going to come back as often as I can because, you know, people know it, and we're very good friends. I call him councilman, but we know he's representative. But DeKeither Stamp is a very close friend of mine, general public. I just want you to be sure and people know that because he is a very personal friend of mine, and he's held in high esteem with me. And that's why we want you to get out and vote on November the 2nd, Larry Big White, Constable District 5, the one for the job. Experienced, professional, and committed to serving. And thank you again, Representative. It's always a pleasure being around you, top lineage.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. We got one great announcement I wanted to make before we get off the air.
I had my mic off the whole time, Representative.
They
Boy,
got
I tell you, I hope the people heard me.
They got you.
But I had my mic off the whole time. But again, we want you to vote for Larry Big White, Constable District 5, the one for the job, experience, profession, and committed to serving. Okay. November the 2nd, 2021. Thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome. You're good. So on Saturday, October the 9th, there's going to be a great event, an HBCU recruitment event called It's a Busy Day at Battlefield Park. It's going to be co-hosted by Representatives Akia Summers and myself. And we have all of the HBCUs that'll be in the whole area that'll be there. So we're asking everybody to come on out and participate. We got the information on the screen there to highlight the program. And you know, we got to push our young people towards these institutions that have saved us and we built on. We're not gonna build a future different than we built our past. These same institutions, your Utica Junior College, you know, or Hines Community College at the Utica campus, Alcorn, Jackson State, you know, Tougaloo, you know, Russ, you know, all these HBCUs have built our community. We're going to need those same institutions to rebuild our community. So come on out to Battlefield Park. You got a young person, senior in high school. You can sign up to be a volunteer at www.busyconference.org, on Facebook at Black United Summit International, and you can, you know, participate in this program. We have to push our young people towards our institutions so we can rebuild our institutions and build the foundation of young people for the future. We got to be in the business of building better people. And that's what we do here. And we want to thank everybody at WMPR, all our sponsors at Michael Jordan Transportation Service. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication to us. And you can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs. And as we end every show, we always say, never, let me catch it. Hey, Carl, you got 30 seconds. What's your question or comment?
County Representative and Senator in the making sound. This is down track. So how's that lifestyle going?
It's going well.
How's the lifestyle going?
It's going good. How you doing?
Good. Simply Salad over there on Ellis Avenue with a new place.
Okay.
Go over there and get you a salad, a healthy salad.
Yes, ma'am. We'll do.
All right. Have a good one.
Take care. And so go get you a healthy salad. Thank you, Ms. Trax. Everybody who wanted to volunteer for our 10-pound challenge. Next week, we want to update. Where are you on the 10-pound challenge? Last but not least, today is my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, baby. Y'all see her, text her, Snapchat, post, or tweet her. Today is her birthday. We're about to go out the door. And as we end every show, we always say, never let anybody put you in a position when you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. Love you, Mississippi. Handyman, get us out of here.